The woman in the window, the woman in black, the woman in the yard, the woman in the window again, the woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window, the woman in black, the woman in red, the woman in the fifth, the woman in green, the woman in the rumor, the woman in question, the woman in the wall, the woman in the room, the woman on Pier 13, and now the woman in Cabin 10. I'm over it. Too many damn movies with that title. I think I've seen most of them too, which is unfortunate. Um, this movie's whatever. I think this is my third Netflix movie of the week. Maybe my third of the week. We had Twits, and then whichever came before that. And seems like Netflix are back on their bullshit. I don't know what happened. I feel like Netflix were not on a bad run past COVID necessarily. I could be remembering wrong. And of course, I did watch Frankenstein recently, which was really good, but probably because it's Guillermo del Toro, not Netflix, completely taking control of the movie. And this feels like a movie that Netflix completely took over. It looks lifeless. The actors are just whatever, except for two of them, which I will get to later. And the story is just a bore. It really is. This feels like a movie that you'd see in 2015 when you first got your Netflix subscription for $5, but now you got to see this movie for $17.99 a month, which is just disgusting because this movie is not worth watching on your phone, your computer, or your TV. And thank God it's nowhere near a movie theater because this is just so bland and boring. Whenever Knives Out came out, I feel like we've been getting a lot of thrillers, mystery thrillers, especially since, and they all try to get the same feeling or tempo that Knives Out had, and this unfortunately appears to be one of them. Because I got bad news for you guys. You aren't going to live up to Knives Out 1, 2, and when 3 comes out, you won't be able to live up to that either. I'm 100% certain. And Woman in Cabin 10, first 40 minutes, absolutely boring. I watched this movie twice. Uh, Technically, I watched the first half once, fell asleep, and then I rewatched the whole movie again, unfortunately, and I almost turned it off at the halfway mark again. The first half of the movie is just such boring bullshit, and you kind of know what's going to happen at the end, um, which I know is fine with a lot of mystery thrillers. That's just going to happen sometimes, but this one just wasn't entertaining in any way. At least try to make a movie somewhat enjoyable. The dialogue, the uh, relationships, the chemistry, whatever you want to call it, with the characters, the story is all just bland and boring, and it's just so awful to watch. And it doesn't help that this movie just looks like a piece of garbage. It really does. I will say though, I did mention this earlier. Guy Pearce and Kira, Kara, Kara Knightley from Pirates of the Caribbean. They were both lovely. I think they both did a great job. I enjoyed both of them. Unfortunately, they're in this movie, and while they might have been pretty decent at acting, the script and whatever they were working with was utter dog shit, which is weird because this is a book from what I've seen, and why not try to just copy paste the book into the movie? Maybe get a good adaptation. I'm not too sure how accurate it is, but dialogue was just so nothing. And typically, if you have a pretty popular book, probably really nice to read. Unfortunately, I don't think this movie followed any of that. If you haven't seen The Woman in Cabin 10, don't watch it. I'm just gonna get to my rating. 3 out of 10. 3 cabins out of 10 cabins. I don't know. There's something decent here. Like I said, the Knightley and Pierce performances were pretty good. It's just they're working with garbage. This movie tries to be fun, and it really isn't. It looks pretty bland and dull and boring. Not much to say here. Netflix pooping out another movie. Unfortunately, if you haven't seen it, don't see it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth 95 minutes. I didn't want to do this review. I actually did a first review and I hated it because it's only 2 minutes long. I kind of wish I just stuck with it because I really didn't like re talking about this movie because there's nothing